Hola, welcome to a very special episode. Muy especial. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special Boobs and Booze. We are going to try to take it very easy on the booze. I am drinking wine, and there's a reason why. So, so have any of you guys ever lost a parent? Oh, I am welcoming myself to the Lost a Parent Club. Um, it is a very interesting week for myself where my emotions are very all over the place. I'm just going to sit here and just let it all out. My father passed. I'm a child of divorce. We recently reconnected. He was in and out of my life growing up. So I am dealing with the waves of emotion and the roller coaster of life. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to make this like a long 2 hour segment or a self loathing live, you know. Oh, goodness, I don't know why that is. One thing I notice like how my screen and the pixels, anyway. Hello to you, Michael, um, and the one person I have in my chat. That's okay. Things grow. I'm ready for this year to end. I really am ready for this year to end. This year really sucks. Like my worst years growing up were 1995, 2000, actually scratch 2000, 2007, and then 2020 just blows it out. So salute to you, 2020. You're really trying to test a motherfucker. So I am preparing myself to go back home to the Midwest and trying to mentally prepare myself to bury a parent. And that is something else. Uh, I don't know what to say. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm lost. I'm trying to be obedient. I feel like I'm going right back into my 8-year-old self of being pushed up in the corner, not because of what is, and the fear of they're trying to hurt me, but pushed into the corner of I don't know what to do or how to react. And gosh darn it, I can't. By the way, I'm going to be a little bit vain right here as I'm talking about this, but you know, I'm trying to prepare myself to be presentable. Straighten my hair. This is me, and uh, painting my own nails so I could be, because if we're going to a black funeral, people are going to be looking at you. And I painted my own nails, and they were already coming off, so I'm trying to save money by doing that. But that's not important. What is important is the fact of the matter of getting through this part. And you guys might watch me go through this. So get ready, get set. I'm about to go. So, oh, well, I am on the bit somber side. I'm actually very blessed to be with my significant other who has been very supportive and who can identify with things as well as my family. I had a 3 hour Zoom call with some of my relatives in Shanghai and family in the States, and so it felt really good. I'm trying. I don't know if people are expecting me to be a little bit more somber. Is this because I have a feeling that things are going to hit me even more during the holidays, or something's I'm going to have a breakdown in 2021? Because part of me feels like I'm a little bit too cool, though I did cry the majority of the day on Thursday when I found out, and I cried today. But I was pushing myself. And I think the reason why I've been pushing myself is because I've been trying to mentally prepare for this because my father had cancer. And so, you know, it's one of those things that you have to prepare for. Can I just do this? Alright, just gonna, just, this pixels, hold on, just, I don't understand why it looks like this. It looks terrible. It looks like for some reason on this live, it looks like so grainy. I'm like, is this it kind of reminds me of a camcorder from like 1987. You know, it's the pixels. They're fucking with me. Meow. But I want to hate a little bit. So let's get off the sad topic. We'll go back to that most likely. But let's go to the sadness of America. So everyone is upset with Ice Cube because he doesn't have any Vaseline. But maybe he should go straight out of Compton. Because, nigga, we don't understand these. Today was a good day. No barking for the dogs. It was a good day. Mom didn't no cook no hog. I'm kidding. Okay. I am on Michael. I'm on the West Coast too. Okay. So let's get this Ice Cube. Oh, come Guys, this Ice Cube thing this is minute. First of all, as someone who is voting for Jim Crow Joe, I hate that piece of shit. I have my issues with the Democrat Party, but I blame a little bit on the Biden campaign for them to say that we'll take a look at this after the campaign, after the election. What is the aftermath of you taking a look after the election? That to me kind of have an issue with that. But let's talk. So I get it. We shouldn't be a two-party, like Black people shouldn't have to just be part of the Democrat Party. Okay? I'm one of those people. I am one of those people that believe that why should we be in a party that takes advantage of us, who as a lifelong majority of the time Democrat, and I'm coming from my grandparents who they voted the majority of the time Democrat, but they said they were independent. I don't believe them. But why should we be loyal to a party that they're not loyal to us? And I get it. I get it. It's very, very exhausting. I mean, try being. I was only born in the 80s. The first time I voted was in 2000. My vote was stolen. I'm still pissed off, okay? So every time after that, I understand why people are frustrated, how your vote doesn't count. But don't be some pussies and don't be some suckers. And things take progress and patience, okay? Jim Crow didn't end in the 60s. We're still going through it now, right? The voting rights, well, you know why? And for some of you ignorant Black people who don't read, the Civil Rights Bill got scratched over, not because of Obama, you silly motherfuckers. It was because of the Supreme Court. And actually, you should get mad at Joe Biden about the fact that he is the one that was the D writer for Clarence Thomas. And when Anita Hill back in 1991 was trying to say, don't put this in, don't put this motherfucker in. He's not for us. He's no Thurgood Marshall. Do you guys remember the fact that that's who Clarence Thomas was replacing? Thurgood Marshall. Hello? Biden was writing for that guy, Clarence Thomas. So this is just a fun fact reminder to you Negroes that think that the Supreme Court, blase, blase. And this is me talking about the fact of, like, I understand why people don't like Joe Biden. I am not a Jim Crow Joe fan. But this is called strategy, people. And patience is progress. You cannot get ahead with a fascist in office. You cannot sit with the devil. You cannot sit with someone that is incompetent, who bathes himself in white supremacy, who tells you that in your face. So why would you sit down with the devil? Now, mind you, Jim Crow Joe is one of the devils, but Jim Crow Joe is smart and he's trying to look good for his legacy. And so his legacy is the fact that he was one of the good ones that, being Obama's vice president for 8 years, it redeems himself from the 1994 crime bill. it redeems himself from the 1991 hearings with Anita Hill, who Anita Hill, by the way, she said, I am voting for Joe Biden. Sorry. Jim Crow Joe, sorry. But, the thing is, this is a game. It's a game, and it's a game of life. And for some of you, some of my uneducated folks who have never taken a civics class, in order to get reparations, you got to vote a certain way. And there's a strategy to what we're trying to do with the Democratic Party. We're actually trying to take over. And so, in order for us to get reparations, we have to, first of all, you don't sit back and let the white people take over. That is stupid. You're a fucking slave. You're a plantation sambone coon if you just think that, like, I'm not going to vote and I'm going to sit here and complain and nothing helps us, blah, blah, blah. You're the issue. If you want your reparations, become a politician. Raise money. What Jay-Z said, the takeover, and I don't like him either. You got to do a hostile takeover. And that is what a lot of us progressives are trying to do. The Progressive Party is a umbrella of the Democratic Party. And it's nothing new. And if you guys would really read Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis, they were pioneers early on in the 50s when they were called communists. And by the way, Black people were always called either communists or socialists when we were trying to get equal rights. This is nothing new, by the way. And actually, we don't even have to talk about the States when that happened. Let's talk about the UK, shall we? Would you like to dance with that one? Oh, no. Because some of us Black people here in America think we're the only ones that are going through this. And some of us, not me, but some of y'all who are uneducated, who are thinking that you can basically just say that forget everyone else in the diaspora, let's just focus on us. That's not how this game works, y'all. This is not how you get things. It's by numbers. And so what you're doing is white supremacy's job that you were instilled into any American educational system, because it was by design for you to be locked in that kind of white supremacy ideology. So I'm just saying that the game is, and this is the game of life, you want reparations, you got to take over. It's called playing chess, kids. You got to knock people out. Now, we might not be here, but I'm thinking that we will, since, I don't know, certain demographic of white people really want this race war. And so their numbers are looking pretty low. We might get there sooner because, they want this race war and all that. They've been, some of these race war, like, really? It's really funny to me because they think this is the time to do it. I'm like, no, you lost that time. Your people are mostly hopped up on your army have low birth rates as well as a high rate of suicide and drug abuse. So your army is lacking. And plus, there's a lot of overweight and health issues in your army and that demographic of there. So you're not going to win. Mhm. I find it really funny. I mean, I'm not trying to bask in the fear. Don't get me wrong. I have some slightly fearful moments, but it's just, to me, it's just a Tuesday. But going back to the whole Ice Cube thing, you guys, stop wasting time. Really, it's not. He didn't endorse him. Now, Ice Cube was a fool to think that this would mean something. He's smarter than that. I think Ice Cube does have some college experience, so his parents are educated, and I know, like, he's educated. So, but why would you think? I would rather him hang out, like, how do I say this? Ugh. I almost said he grew up in the era of Reagan, and I was born in the era of Reagan. So Reagan was fucking horrible. I hate that piece of shit. I hate him. But you got Reagan, and then we'll have George Bush. Both of them. I mean, I hate Reagan more than the Bushes. I really fucking hate Reagan because he is actually kind of like the kickoff of why the Republican Party, along with Nixon. I don't remember. I wasn't born in that era, but he was shitty. But Reagan really, the things and everything that we have in the modern day of the Republican Party is because of Reagan. Okay, and for you UK folks, Thatcher. um, but Ice Cube, if you weren't willing to have a seat or even say anything with Reagan, though you were young, or George Sr., why would you even have a seat with someone who doesn't even lack the intelligence of a fourth grader? What do you think you're going to get out of this cult leader? I mean, come on. I mean, and especially like this close to the election, you knew you're going to get played, brother. Come on. You have some of the best songs that I still memorize, like No Vaseline. Listen, No Vaseline. Make sure you have some next time when you get screwed, because you're getting screwed with No Vaseline. Oop. Um, and then on top of that, your agenda. It was good. Your timing's a little off. But I'm not going to sit here and be one of those people that are you're coon and blah blah blah. I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. And some of y'all need to fall back and really chill because that's what they want us to do. They want us to get irate about something that is not important. It's a diversion to what's actually happening, and it's working. And the party loyalty, yeah, there. It's. Let me tell you this: Black people don't have a party loyalty. It's the fact that one party actually comes to our neighborhood, they'll listen to us, and we as some suckers and we fall for it and the pandering, and they might give us some crumbs, but we'll take it, in contrast to the other party where they don't even show up and they'll just call you a nigga in the face, and then they'll say fuck you, lynch you. And so it's just like, okay, we're not gonna do with that, because that's the lynching party. But on the other side, the Democratic Party, yeah, we know that there is white supremacy in the Democratic Party. Yeah, we know that. But the thing is, we know how to work not with it, but how to take over it. And that is what is scaring a lot of the moderates of the Democratic Party, because they see people like Cory Bush and AOC and I almost said Ilya, Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Presley and Ilion, they see the fact that that party is nothing but a bunch of brown, dark faces. And that scares the bejesus out of people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, that fucking cunt Dianne Feinstein. I fucking hate that bit. Oh, she should really retire. I'm just gonna say that. Actually, I shouldn't say anything about Dianne Feinstein. I don't like her. But with these people that I just mentioned, not the moderates, these are the people that will fight to get legislation in for things like reparations and healthcare, socialized healthcare. And I understand how people feel about with that thought. Did you miss me? It's my little rat. My little rat dog is barking. Let's see. Eric Cartman tried to start a race war and said, "What goofy you talking now?" Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you don't want to vote, don't vote. But if you don't vote, shut the fuck up. All right? Don't talk about reparations. Don't talk about anything with me. And I get it. You're going to be like, yeah, Biden 1994 crime bill. Yeah, he's a piece of shit for that. I concur. But it's like a math problem. It's strategy. If we have this cult leader in office, it is further away for us to get any kind of reparations or anything or any civil rights for Black people, not people of color. And that's what I was going to say. I am a Bernie supporter, but I will say this. I do get annoyed with the POC, people of color, because it is a cheap way out. Instead of talking about individuals' issues, you're putting everyone under one big broad umbrella. Like A lot of Latino issues have a little bit to do with Black issues when it comes to certain things, but not everything. All right. Just like Asian issues have their own issues when it comes to certain things. So I honestly think that sometimes putting people under the same umbrella does not get things done. It's a cheap way for people to say, like, okay, we're going to put all these people under one umbrella and then there's white women and white men. That's not fair. I don't see people putting European issues, you know, like you wouldn't say, like, the Democrats want to help the Irish and the Italian. And so we're going to put the Irish and Italians under this, you get kind of what I'm saying. And even when you dig deep into Black or Latin or Asian or indigenous, there's different kind of, is the word monocosms that I'm thinking of? I might be wrong. But basically, like, you wouldn't want to put um, an issue in the Latin community of, okay, there's an issue that's going on in Mexico in contrast to Puerto Rico, which is part of the States, but they're still trying, since they are a US territory and they are Americans, that is an issue that we need to figure out with their island. You wouldn't put the issues in Puerto Rico up against the same issues that are going on in Mexico, or the same issues that are going on in Central America and Nicaragua or Dominican Republic. Just like in Black issues can mean a lot of things. And we're not just talking African American. Black issues can mean African Americans, and also there's Haitian, and also then there's the broad of Latin, and because Black people are all over the place. And then if we talk about Asian issues, well, are we talking about Chinese? Are we talking about Indian? Are we talking about Korean? Are we talking about Vietnamese? There's a lot of things. So when we put each other under just one big umbrella, it just kind of ignores our issues within our own community. Dig? Okay. So, I wouldn't. And here's another thing with Indigenous. Indigenous is also part of Latinx. And here in the States, because, by the way, Indigenous Americans do not like to be called Native Americans. Just gonna say. So, if we're talking about that, what tribe are we talking about? There's a Cherokee, there's a Sioux, there's a Choctaw, there's, exactly, Big Cat. And the thing, and that's why it's not fair for them to put people of color under a umbrella, because what it is a lazy way to not talk or identify those issues. It's lazy. It's lazy white man talk. I said that. It is lazy white man talk. It is. It's less work. Thank you. Por ejemplo, I myself, I'm a Black woman. My grandfather was born on a reservation. I'm Cherokee. But I'm not going to sit here and be like I'm part of the nation and be like, though I do feel this way. But at the same time, and here's something about Black Americans that we need to actually have a conversation about. Because even here in Black America, and I hate to say African American, you know why? Because Black America has its own microcosms, You know what I mean? You have the Geechee people in the Carolinas, you have the Creole people and the Gulf, one of those, hi. And then you also have us who were blended also with indigenous. And we don't want to claim this. It just don't. But a lot of us, our relatives got raped, but you know who. So I'm not saying to claim your Dutch ancestry, but let's not get it twisted. You can't be you. There's no way to honestly be 100% pro-black in this country. uh-uh. You're lying to yourself. I'm just talking about genetics and history. I mean, the closest to pro-blackness would probably be the Haitians and some of the Dominicans and maybe some of the Cubanos or Brazilians, because that's where most the drop off. Yeah, in Latin America. I just want to make sure my Black American brothers and sisters realize, like, us 13 percenters, read a book. But let's move on. You guys want to laugh? I'm going to laugh. All right. Let's see. What shall we talk about? Oh, Kanye. So Kanye is on the ballot here in California. I mean, Kanye. How do you go from flashing lights to 2020 vision? How? Black people, please stop. Big Cat, you're right. Big Cat says Latin kings also claim Jamaicans and Haitians um, and Dominicanos, but they don't F with the Cubanos because a lot of Latin people, for some, Cubanos are a little muy especial. Big Cat's right. Yes, that is true. And being from Chicago, I learned that in the neighborhood that I lived in. Shout out to Humble Park. Um, let's see. Was the founder of, I thought he was Puerto Rican. Latin King started, and I thought it started in Chicago. Now I'm gonna look this up. Hold on 1 second. Sure he wasn't Puerto Rican? Mm. Oh man, listen. All right, I gotta look this up now. I gotta do some homework because Latin Kings, everyone, what I'm looking up right now is the fact of like, hold on one second. Because they started in the Latin Kings started, I think, after World War II originally with the zoot suits, and those were the Puerto Ricans. Latin Kings origin. Yes, I was right. I know my games. Okay, you guys ready? Latin Kings started out in Chicago in the 1950s with the original stated purpose of protecting Puerto Rican immigrants from racial violence and discrimination. Over time, however, the game morphed into a criminal enterprise. So, yes, I was right. I'm from the OG Latin King territory of Humboldt Park. So I knew them old school Latin Kings were telling me the truth. Yeah, because they were trying to get all the white people out of their neighborhood, and same thing. And so the reason I used to have to kind of perpetrate as Puerto Rican, and thank God I knew a little bit habla español because like I was treated real cool and what have you. Yeah, Latin Kings started in Chicago. I know what I'm talking about. And the disciples and yeah, I learned this when I moved to Chicago to go to art school. I'm from the suburbs. Um, but yeah, I know that because it was started. It was like the same thing with any gang to protect the neighborhood, you know, and especially in the 1950s because there was Operation Wetback. Operation Wetback was during the Eisenhower administration, and Operation Wetback. That is when the it was the oh my gosh, what were their names? They were kind of freedom fighters that were from Puerto Rico, and mind you, Puerto Rico is United States. They were trying to either get statehood or be left alone and have their own. And Operation Wetback was to calm that down along with the Mexicans. Let's see. Operation Wetback. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Operation Wetback. Operation Wetback was an immigration law enforcement initiative by Joseph Swing, the director of the United States Immigration and National Relations. Um, In, in cooperation with the Mexican government, the program was implemented in 1954 by the U.S. General Herbert Brunwell, a short-lived operation, military style, to remove Mexican immigrants, which they did in Chicago too. But also too, Puerto Ricans got tied into that. And then what was it? 1950s. They hold on. It was a nationalist party. That's what I was thinking of. Uh, there was a there was the uprising in 1950, and that's why you had a lot of Puerto Ricans, basically niggas get that can swim. Uh, but yeah, but but let's have a conversation really quickly, and then I'll move on to some of my Latinx and my Latino people out there who think that you're white. You should really read a fucking book, okay? Your abuela is darker than me. Your ancestry is from slavery and the indigenous. So I'm just saying, I mean, like, Keep on thinking that you're like the Proud Boy leader. And by the way, the Proud Boys was not started by that Afro-Cubano sellout Tio Tomas. Okay, it was started by that uh, Triscuit man. What's his name? McGillis, Gavin McGillis. So the leader right now is some nappy-head Afro-Cubano who thinks that his shit don't stink until he gets hung by a tree. I'm just saying, he hates himself. I know he got 4B hair, hates himself. He'll be a proud boy. And who hangs out with the group nowadays? Why would you call yourself the Proud Boys? Unless you're not proud. I mean, I'm proud. I like Proud Boys. But like you just named yourself the gayest thing. I mean, I love the gays, but if you hate the gays, wouldn't you try not to identify yourself with something that is very gay? That's like a white supremacist name themselves the Haitian haters. Or wait, I had one. The American indigenous. We hate everyone. American rights. You know. Hmm. Oh, and Big Cat, I get what you're saying. I'm tired of the Obama stuff. Can we just let this be? Like, we don't even talk about George W. Bush anymore. We keep talking about Obama. We spend our time hating on a black man. Do you think about that? We spent our time, even when Obama was in office, we didn't hate on George Bush as much as we hate on Obama. And trust me, I have issues with Obama. But let's take a look at ourselves because we all have this white supremacy ideology. It's I'm trying to get out of it, but Obama was not. Oh, this is You know what, Big Cat? I appreciated Obama doing that. I'm sorry. I actually used to fight for gay rights. I'm all for it, ain't nobody's business. I'm all for gay rights. I'm not going to say that there is something going on in the LGBTQ ABCDFYG, but here's something that you have to know. There's a lot of racism that is going on in the LGBTQFYZT community. And especially when it comes to Black trans, Black lesbians, Black gays, Black bisexuals, they are not equally welcomed into the community. It's not like that. It's not, honey. Do you think white supremacy is about just straight people? It's even worse in the LGBTQXYZ. They don't get the representation. It's pretty. And living here in San Francisco, it is very racist in the LGBTQ X, Y, and Z. And I keep saying that because it's it's bad. It's bad. Even like, when we think about, and I'm gonna say this, think about that, what was his name? Joe Buck, the Buck dude in LA, where they kept finding his lovers overdosing and he was a donor to the Democratic Party. And by the way, this man, he would, lure black, gay, destitute men to his home, take advantage of them, and get them high. The LGBTQ, white LGBTQ community did not come forward, did not do anything. You still hear radio silence from them. It was the black queer community that got that monster arrested. So miss me on that. Miss me on that. The black LGBTQ is, y'all don't know. That's why I'm like, I hate that the anti, that's anti-black if you don't include our brothers and sisters, because they're black, number one. Okay, we're our brothers and sisters. Who cares what they do? You probably do some weird shit too. Well, it's not weird, but you probably. The point is, sexuality is not anyone's business. Just like me having an abortion or you doing what you do is not our business. As long as there's no children or no one else getting harmed, who cares? So a lot of black hetero people need to read up on what's going on in the black gay community. It's not, you think we have it bad out here with white supremacy. Oh, when you have people that think that they accept you and because you guys share the same kind of dick and puss and trans ideas, it ain't like that. It ain't like that at all. Mm-mm. Two separate things. If you don't want to get involved with it, I understand, but I don't like to put my black LGBTQ brothers and sisters out the window like that. It's rough out there for them. Uh-oh. So, and plus, when we act and we judge like that, that's a white supremacy ideology. It's white supremacy ideology. Don't follow that white man's. Don't do that. Don't do that. Big Cat, I get what you're saying, but you sound like it's 1989. You should be worried about what they're seeing on social media. And the worst thing is not two men or two women making out. You should be more worried about pop, 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 pop. And, really, that's the least thing. When you make it, Big Cat, when you make it a big deal, they're going to think it's a big deal. You need to make other things a little bit more of a big deal, like how people treat women and colorism and violence and all that. If your son or your kids, if you just walk on by like Isaac Hayes, they won't think anything of it. Don't make it don't hype it up. Don't hype it up. You know how this is. I know you're not worried about it. Shoot. I was raised Catholic and I ended up liking girls for a minute. And that wasn't because I saw two girls kissing. I thought it was just like, Well, Big Cat, that's not your taste. That's whatever. So what? But you didn't say anything about two women. That's not. Come on, what decade are we in? Who cares? Who cares? You need to worry about like a Sukiana sucking dick and throwing up on that. That shit's worried about two men kissing. Talk to me when you have them doing that on Twitter. That's what you need to be worried about. Worried about the wrong things, brother. Shoot. And you also need to tell the difference between There's a difference between the white LGBTQ and there's a difference between the black LGBTQ. The black LGBTQ don't get represented. So, nasty girl talk. That's not nasty girl talk. That's what's on the internet. That is what people are seeing. That is what Big Cat, you were talking about two dudes seeing two dudes kissing. That's worse. And yes, I love Vanity Six. Yeah, yeah. But my point is, you're harping on the wrong thing. Any over sexualization of anything is wrong. But if you see two people loving each other affectionately and healthy, even if it is the same sex, at least it's healthy, rather than two heterosexual people doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I see more heterosexual people doing too much. Where I'm like, I like sick stuff. I like pornography. I like kink. I like everything. But I don't want to see a lot of stuff. It's weird. And it ain't the gays or the trans doing it. It's the heteros that are doing a little bit over sexualizing things. So let's not. And the thing is, like, I don't like to go in people's bedroom because whatever they're into, they're into. But what I'm seeing is the fact that as we're talking about judging people's sexual preference, we need to be talking about what is being over sexualized in public and where your kids are seeing that. You dig? Heterosexuals are fucking up for the worst. They are the heterosexuals are the ones that are pedophiles and the scariest ones right now. So I'm saying, you your kid might be on Twitter. By the way, Michael Torres, I love that album Prince Controversy that came out in 1981. Have it on vinyl. Hold on. 1 second. Ah, oh, never mind. It's just a gay guy on a horse. Sorry. It. See, look. Was this gay for you? Um. Anyway. Now I'm like, I gotta find that album now. Let's see. Oh, look how gay this was. That's Rick James. Good. Of course, I have Duran Duran. Here we go. No, this is my favorite album of all time. There we go. I'll be right back. You guys can look at that. Going to. Be right back. Did you miss me? I'm kidding. Hey, Prince. Hold this. There we go. Thanks. I knew those jockeys would be good for something. I cannot play Prince. I was thinking about it, but I'll get a strike. I'm trying to grow my channel. By the way, I want to shout out my favorite channels, by the way. And I know people are going to be disappointed with me, but my favorite channels that I want to give a shout out to, Miss 508. I like her a lot. She's cool. LVZ, he probably mad at me because, you know, I just and basically it. Myself. But anywho. Oh, and Lisa Cabrera. Yes. Oh, and Taryn Rain. I like those channels. I do. The three channels that I talked about, I disagree with them on a lot of things, and especially when it comes to voting. But the fact of the matter is, I respect them. Oh, and Monty Woodgrain. I love Monty Woodgrain. Shout out to him. I like to watch Lisa Cabrera and Taryn Rain and LVZ. LVZ is like, I like him. We do not agree with a lot of things how I feel about when it comes to politics or what have you, but I do respect their opinion, and I do respect them how they feel about a lot of things. So that's one thing that I do really appreciate about those three channels. I would like to force them to vote, but well, that's them. I do appreciate the fact that they are actually putting news out there and it's not false. And they hate Candace Coon just as much as I do. So shout out to those people. You look about 27. Thanks. So that means I would have been born in 1993, right? It was a good year for hip hop. I think I was in 5th grade or 4th grade. 4th grade. 1993. I still have, speaking of 1993, which is one of my favorite years ever, I still have my Tupac single, If I Get Around, on cassette. I still have that. I have my Wu-Tang CD, Cream, that's a single. I have my House, or not, I had a House of Pain. That's 1992, though. Oh, and I have my Cypress Hill. I still have a Cypress Hill cassette. It's 1993. You're 70, yeah. So I'm an 80s baby. Speaking of 80s, I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to talk about the news and make fun of people. Oh, and Willie D. Ugh, I love Willie D. And shout out to him for changing his mind and deciding to vote. I love that because I understand I understand how he feels. I've been voting since I was 18, since I graduated high school in 2000. It was the first time I voted. My vote was stolen. I'm still pissed off. I voted in every election. I get it. You feel like your vote doesn't matter, but it does. Fuck that shit. I'm trying to take some shit and take things that are mine. And the Democratic Party is mine. And when I say that, because y'all owe us way too much. And we're going to get our reparations. Either it's do or die. I'm just saying, you know, I don't sit and I'm not going to complain. It's not hard to vote. You just vote. Mm. I mean, it's harder to pay bills. It's harder to go to the grocery store. Well, now, I mean, they're trying to suppress our vote, you know. And hey, and by the way, I'm not going to sit here and I don't ride a party's tail. I'm not riding the Democrats. I have an issue with them, a big issue. And like I said earlier, there's an umbrella of people in the Democrat Party. And what the party that I'm working with as a progressive, I'm not a liberal, progressive. And the definition of progressive, progress means move forward. I do vote more Democrat because what Republican, they've never done anything for me. And I will say the Democratic Party owes us a lot more. But I will say this, the Democrat Party, I'm not even. I just want the progressives to take over that party. Okay, I'm not even. I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't. I have an issue. We're fighting in our own party to like get free healthcare and free college and reparations, and then when you have moderates not talk about that, it's time to get rid of them. And the only way to get rid of them is to vote their asses out. So, oh yeah, comedy. It's looking for something, right? Let's do. Honey, Escobar is dead. Are you talking about his? We shouldn't be talking about that stuff on here. Here's a funny story. Wichita man arrested after threat to kidnap and kill mayor over COVID mask mandate. These, this demographic is going buck wow. You like to hear? You want to hear a story? Well, here it goes. A Wichita man has been arrested on suspicion of threatening to kidnap and kill the mayor over a COVID-19 measure requiring residents to wear a mask. The arrest occurred after another city official read a series of text messages and he had received. Wichita Mayor Brandon Whipple, according to the mayor, the man who texted the detail and the threat was seeking information about Whipple's home address. The Wichita Eagle reported the motive was apparently over the opposition of mask and tyranny. The Democratic mayor told the newspaper, I just don't understand. I can't. Meredith Doughty, 59, was booked into the county jail Friday evening on suspicion of criminal threat, police said. Wait, let's find their picture. Oh, we gotta see their picture. Let's find Meredith's picture. Because here's one thing I want to do. I like to expose these terrorists. So just like they like to expose anyone that is brown, Muslim, they like to put their face forward. Let's find Meredith Doughty's photo so we can post that. Because everyone needs a glamour shot, right? Meredith. Meredith Doughty. Doughty. We don't want to. Let's not hide their faces. Let's show who they are. Oh, it's this guy. We only have a side profile. That's Meredith Downty. He looks like he has a small penis. Let's see, Meredith. Let's see more of your glamour shots. Because everyone wants to be a star, right? And that's what I don't like. The fact that when it comes to us, when it comes to, because Black people are criminals and they like to post our photos all over the place. So let's post their photos. Oh my. Okay, that just really got me. I just saw a family photo of my dad and the family. All right, let me not get emotional. Uh, oh yeah. Here's this fuckface. We only still get a side profile. You must have been that ugly. It's it's this young buck right here. This chode. Oh, Meredith, show us your face, brother. Come on, show us your face, brother. Come on. Oh, here. Oh no, it's still the same face. Look at that little dick syndrome. Little mouth, little dick. Come on, brother, show us your face. Anyhow, all right. So I have family in Wichita too. They probably know. All right. Let's see. Antifa. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, Antifa means anti-fascist. That started in World War II. Not a terrorist group. We know that. Um, Abortion. Oh, here's someone that I want to talk. Oh, actually, I can't talk about her. Susan Collins donated to QAnon. Not surprising. Okay. Uh, Here's something fun. Police are cutting ties with domestic violence programs that support Black Lives Matter. So, hey, white women, you remember you voted for that guy 53%, and now I know that you're not voting for him at all. Go away. Gosh darn it. Where'd that go? It just went away. Anyway, those Black Lives Matters, it doesn't matter for you, white women. The fact is, your men like to beat your ass. So, congratulations, you played yourself again. I know Trump is whining. And this is okay. I think the majority of the men that I have in the chat are possibly Black men. And maybe you can answer this question. Why? Oh my God, that was a mosquito. Sorry. Why is there a certain percentage of Black males that are voting for Trump? Because I have a theory, and I'm going to throw it out there. You're not going to like it, but they broke. Big cat. I'm going to say this. You're not going to like what I say. You might agree with me, but here it goes. Okay. A certain demographic of Black men have a white supremacy ideology, and they feel like the closer to whiteness, and it's mostly, I notice it's really dark skinned brothers. Um, there is a self hatred, and the self hatred starts with like getting someone either light skinned like myself, which I used to get fetishized by darker skinned brothers. Not all the time. I'm just hear me out. And then whiteness, white women. Um, and the closer to whiteness would also gravitate, uh, kind of get the idea of the closer to whiteness, that means the closer to money. And even if you are a college educated brother that has the money and what have you, I can get closer to being a white man by having money and having this either lighter skin or ambiguous or exotic or white women. Mostly it's going to be white women, which I don't, I don't care. I'm not one of those women that care. I did all, I don't care about that stuff. It doesn't waste my time. But I've noticed this, and I kind of grew up with this because of my uncles, because my uncles married white women. So, and I actually kind of had a conversation about this sort of before. But for there is a thing. Thank you, Michael, but that is not how my life was because brothers thought I was. No, hear me out. This is not all brothers. I don't believe in all and doing all that. No. Um, it was either I was I can fetishized, I was too weird, or I might as well get me a white woman. It was that. And I'm not mad at that because I was like, well, I'm just gonna hang out with this white dude, or this Latin dude, or this other brother that likes me. So I'm like, I don't worry about that stuff. But I noticed within certain Black American men, actually, I'm not even going to say Black American men because there's some African dudes that feel that way. It's brothers from the UK that act that way too. So I'm just going to say this is it. It's not about me. It's about the fact that I noticed something within sometimes with Black men where the closer to whiteness and white supremacy, where they can feel like they're in. I'm not probably saying this correctly. We have a hierarchy, and we know Black women are under Black men, right? Um, and so there is something with certain Black men, I'm not saying all, because I have a bone to pick with every man, but I'm just talking about my own kind, where I noticed that the closer to whiteness you get, they feel the closer to greatness they feel, where they feel confident, and it's weird and it's creepy and it's sad because they downplay us in the Black community. Is it? I probably need to save this conversation for a different time where I have my words at a perfect, well, not perfect, but where it kind of means a little, where I can get it out correctly. So, and that's no shade. I didn't say all brothers. I did not say that at all. Just like I have an issue with some of my own sisters. Like, why you guys just giving it up and being so pick me? Can't stand sisters who are pick me, pick me. I'm a chooser abuser. Pick me, pick me. Tory Lanez is hot. Pick me, pick me. That nigga got chiclet teeth. Really? Mm. OJ didn't do it. Pick me, pick me. He still didn't pick you. Oh, Cuba, he okay. Pick me, bitch. Me with you is like Hell Melvin without and the Blue Notes. You never go platinum. Yo, Daz, give me a light. I can't really remember that. Thank you, Big Cat. I was trying to. You got what I was saying. And the thing is like, and I like Kevin Simmons. But, I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm not trying to disregard my brothers at all. But I'm noticing things and I don't like it. And there's more brothers out there that don't think that way. But what's going on in the media, you have a small demographic of brothers that are taking, that are, I need to get rid of the motherfuckers. And they ain't young, you know. Did Washington pick a new name? Yeah, the Washington football team. You go somewhere else. Me personally, go there, be good. Yeah. Oh, the Washington. Good job, Washington, D.C. Maybe you'll become a state. Oh, wait, too many black people. So you're going to name yourself the Washington football team. How corny is that? What is this, 1906? Hey, everybody. Hey. Welcome to the Washington football team. Yeah. So here we in the stands, we have 2 or 3 people, but it's Spanish flu, so we can't have anybody around. But you might have us on the crank radio. Yeah. Somebody, I think there's an explosion going on over in France. It's World War II. Yeah. No, I'm not watching the hip hop awards because I'm a hip hop snob. I don't like hip hop right now. Well, actually, I like hip hop now in contrast to hip hop 2017. I'm glad the SoundCloud era is done because that's murder, 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 and kill, kill, kill era, which actually really like this song. Murder, 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 and kill, kill, kill. See, I grew up to that and listen to me talk about, yeah, look at that murder, 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 kill, kill, kill stuff. Yeah, what's wrong with these kids? Don't they know how to watch MTV? Yo, MTV Raps? Yeah. No, I did not watch the Hip Slop Awards because I don't like Black embarrassment television. That's what I call BET, Black embarrassment in television, because it's an embarrassment. And how come there's never been a news on BET since it got sold from Bob Johnson? Oh wait, there used to be Ed Gordon who would give the news around 5:30 or 6:30. And then when Bob Johnson sold it to Viacom in 2001, 2002, and then it became like Black Embarrassment TV. So yeah, I don't like that. One was at 106 in Park. I'm like, oh, look at this niggerdom. Mm-mm. Once Rap City ended with Mayor Chris, and that shit got. Mm. No, I don't sleep on talent. Big cat, big cat. I not. Listen, I'm not like that one. I'm not that kind of person where like I don't listen to any new stuff. Let's see. One of my favorite artists right now. I like this artist out of Houston No, it's not Meg the Stallion. It's EJ. EJ Ray. EJ Reed. He's my favorite new artist. So no, I don't sleep. I do like the fact that hip hop is going back to its own form, but hip hop is not owned by Black people anymore. You know who owns hip hop? Hip hop? Not us. And when you it doesn't is when it's not owned by us, we don't get to control the narrative of what's actually going on with us in the community. It's a big business where you have a bunch of people like Leonard Cohen and other suits who don't look like us, who take charge of the narrative. I have an issue with that. That's why when you say so, it ain't, it's hip hop's very deep for me. First, one of the first, well, my first concert was the Pointer Sisters when I was 3. But my second concert, I remember, was when I was 7, and that was in 1988. And that was Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. And my cousin, who was 17 at the time, he was a teenager, he took me at 7 years old to go see that. And that just, and I never went back. And that was when I bought Slick Rick's children's story with my money that I saved in my piggy bank. And from there on, I grew up with hip hop in my house. My mom, she was born in 1958, so she had like Blowfly albums and Curtis Blow, and my aunt, and Houdini. So like that stuff was always played in my house. After that would be Stephanie Mills and like Melba Moore and stuff, and Phyllis Hyman. But I grew up to hip hop, and it's a really like hip hop and punk rock are my favorite genres. And the reason why they're my favorite genres, because punk rock, if it wasn't for those two things meshing, especially in New York at the time, these things wouldn't coexist. And to me, in my opinion, hip hop is kind of what put punk rock kind of mainstream a little. It kind of made it, well, ska, which is black music, with the Clash and stuff, because one of my favorite bands is the Clash. That's why I have punk rock on my leg. Um, and then, like, you have Blondie with Rapture and Fab Five Freddy. Told me everybody down. DJ spinning and saying my mind, flash is fast, flash is cool, Francois Savat, flash no, yeah. But anyway, uh, Gorillaz is my favorite. I have every Gorillaz album. Big Cat. I'm a fan of Blur. And if you know Gorillaz, you like Damien Albarn, you should look up Blur. There is an era in time which I love of the mid 90s called the Britpop era. Let me tell you about it. Let's go. So the Britpop era was anywhere between 1992 to 1996. And the Britpop, actually, scratch that. It's more like 1992 to 1995, technically. And so the Britpop era was, either between Oasis and Blur. Oasis, I'm sure some of you guys have heard that song, Wonderwall or Champagne Supernova. They were trying to be like the Beatles. So they're a band out of Manchester, working class, worked hard, gritty. You know, they the hood. Manchester's the hood. And then you have Blur, art school. I'm not going to say completely posh, still working class, but art school might have seen a little bit more. Um, and so there was a war between both of them. That's when I started getting into British music a lot. And I was one of those teenagers that was either between Oasis and Blur. Blur were the art school. I ended up going to art school. Thanks, Blur. And Damon Albarn, who is the creator of Gorillaz, had a better ear and was more into hip hop and different and black culture and everything else. In contrast to, well, I'm not going to even say black culture. He appreciated the music. Like he put Bobby Womack on again. If you guys know the song Stylo, great fucking song. And he's working with De La Soul and Snoop and and I'm talking just that's Gorillaz. But Damon Albarn's got some soul. So, and Ohio Players, name a song off Honey. I have that album too. Honey's 1975, so I think that has you are not so Sweet Sticky Thing is on Honey, I believe. You sweet sticky thing. That's actually one of my favorite Ohio Players. Oh, I got something to show you guys. Speaking of, if you're talking about Ohio, I'm going to talk about Zapp and Roger. I got a story for you. You sweet sticky thing. I really want to play that right now, but I should not. You've got such a skin. Oh, righty. I have a story. And I was talking to my aunt tonight. And it was about when she took me to my first Zapp and Roger concert in 1995. When Roger Troutman was still alive. And so funny. So I love Zapp and Roger. Love. Like my favorite groups are like the Stones, Depeche Mode, and Zapp and Roger. And so, where is that photo? Here it is. So this picture was taken in 1995. I was like 13. So Roger Troutman was trying to hit on me. And my aunt's like, she's only 13. That's like from 1995. That's my Aunt Jo. That's Roger Troutman. And that's me. And this is like 1995. This is like at Mississippi Nights in St. Louis. Yeah. Which I love. I can't, I'm So glad I still have this. And I saw Zap and Roger with Roger Troutman like 3 times in my teenage years. I don't know, just nothing like just was a fan. Uh, yeah, that's me. I'm like 13, 1995. Yeah. So yeah, I found that recently. I'm like, oh my god. Uh, that was one of the best. I've seen a lot of good shows. Like David Bowie and 9 Inch Nails was my Aunt Joe. This on the same year. So this is the same year. So this is like April of 1995. And so for my 14th birthday, same year, she took me to go see David Bowie and 9 Inch Nails. Best concerts. And my life was changed after that. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do that. Everything's black. And then I've seen Sade. My mom, for my 21st birthday, took me to go see India Ari and Sade. Cried. My mom took me to my first Parliament show. And I was like, why is this show? It's so long. I fell asleep in her arms watching part of the show was still going. Shaka Khan. I've actually met Shaka Khan. I actually got to smoke a joint with Bootsy and George Clinton because of my mom. That was at Chicago. That was in Chicago, maybe about 10 years ago. I've hung out with Santana, talked to him. Uh, oh my God, there was someone else. Oh, Morris Day and the Time was fun. Morris Day and the Time was fun. Again, I was a minor and I was with my mom this time. I didn't have a picture. And Morris Day was like, hey, you're so cute. And my mom's like, that's my daughter. Again, that was at Mississippi Nights in St. Louis in the 90s. So, yeah. Mm, wasn't a groupie. I tried. But my mama was always there. Oh, and Shaka Khan. I met Jody Watley. I used to, oh, my boyfriend is, I used to date Jody Watley's bassist. Jody Watley was sweet. She was awesome. I like music. I like musicians. Or used to. I used to like musicians. They're dangerous. Um, but yeah, one of the things in my life I really regret was not keeping up with the instruments that, you know, I would I used to play violin, didn't stick with that, hate myself for that. Used to play drums. I thought it was going to be like Sheila E. Didn't stick with that. Used to play piano. I wanted to be like Prince, so I didn't stick with that. So I just started doing improv and theater because I could just be an actress. And Shaka Khan, honestly, is one of my favorite. Shaka Khan's number one, Tina Marie's number two, Sade's number three. Shaka's number one. I can listen to any album by Shaka Khan, no doubt. Shaka is, and Sheila E is. Hold on. Where are we? Trying to. Oh yeah, I have this too. So Breaking Two Electric Boogaloo. Love that album. Uh, oh, and Anita Baker is in my repertoire. No, every time I look for Shaka, she's always hiding. Oh yeah, there she is. Oh, there she goes. Oops. Oh yeah, so these are my mom's albums that I stole. So yeah, these are the albums that I'm never gonna get back. This is 1975. This is 1978. God, why wouldn't you? Jeez, like, and she's still beautiful. She still knows how to perform. Anyhow. Mm. And she still looks good. She looks even more delicious. She's like in her 60s and she lost all that weight and she used to get high. My mom would tell me stories of like in the 70s when she saw her, and in the early 80s before she had me. Like Shaka Khan concerts where like someone would have to carry her off. Like she was so high, like she would not be there, and the concert would end, and my mom would be like, "Yeah, that bitch was way too high," you know. And yeah, I love her. I don't have any Angela Bofield. Actually, that's a lie. I think that's on that side. I All I know is woo 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 woo. That's all I know about Angela Bofield. I'm more of a Phyllis Hyman in that era, or Vesta. I have some Vesta. Will you? Hello. This album, I have 3 of these albums. So this one I stole from my mom, and then I have one I stole from my Aunt Jo. I love records because they would open up. And like, Anita Baker, I love her. Yeah. You know, the majority of the artists I've seen in my life, I I've been happy to see. The regrets, I will never be able to see Michael Jackson. I will never ever be able to see The Clash. I've seen Stevie Wonder 4 times, and I've seen Prince 5 times. So, and I've seen David Bowie once. So, and I will never be able to see Marvin Gaye. You see, I have Marvin Gaye in the background around there. Oh, and Led Zeppelin. Well, Led Zeppelin, okay. I probably would have been a groupie, and I probably wouldn't have did their drugs. That's my problem. I've seen the Stones when I was 16 in the 90s. That was a fun show. That was a great show. I love the Stones. I've seen Depeche Mode. That's one of my favorite bands. And I've partied with them. Every group that I've seen, majority with the exception of a few, I've got to hang out with them. I never did any extra stuff. No. My friends did that. That's why I always have a white girlfriend. So you can be the saint. um, oh man. I've seen The Police. I love The Police. I don't care what no one says. Actually, every black person likes the police. The band Police, not the real police. Um, and that's the poor sisters and Prince B-side, Parliament. Someone said Vanity 6 earlier. There you go. I stole this from my cousin. I have it. It's the original. This album is as old as me. Love this album. I don't have Iron Maiden because I am not an Iron Maiden fan. I am more of a okay, Def Leppard's a little bit too pop in contrast to Iron Maiden. I'm more of a oh my god, I don't know why I'm blanking out on this because I like Motley Crue a lot, but no, we're talking about real metal. Uh, oh my god, I don't know why I'm blanking out. Ace of Spades. Why am I blanking out? Lemmy. Motorhead. Um, and I don't like. Okay, so I have Johnny Guitar Watson, but yes, ain't that a bitch? I do have that. That's up here. Thank you. I gotta pull that out. Um, but when it comes to like stuff like Iron Maiden, you know what's funny is when I was a kid, those records would scare the shit out of me when I would go into Camelot Music, and like my mom would be looking for her record, and so I'd be trailing along when I was a kid, and the metal albums that would scare me were Ozzy Osbourne and Iron Maiden because they always had and Pink Floyd's um, The Wall. That would scare the shit out of me. But I do like metal. I'm more of a punk. I'm more into punk rock. So I'm more of like a Clash, Ramones, Iggy Pop, Sex Pistols. Not my favorite. And then we'll go into like ska, like the Specials, and I don't know why I'm the Beat, English Beat. But if it comes to metal, I respect Iron Maiden. Run to the hills. Actually, that is a great song. Run for your life. Yeah, actually, I do like, yeah. But I like Def Leppard more. Bad Company. Hey. Paul Rundgren. See, I liked more. I was more into like okay, so I like more new wave and no wave and I didn't get into. I liked my shit was gay. I liked a lot of stuff that was like do 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 do. Like I like New Order and Depeche Mode, but I like also too, um, like I said, Clash, Joy Division. Should look them up. Um, but some of the things I do remember from hearing when I was a kid on the radio, especially living in the Midwest, Guns N' Roses. I do like me some GNR. Um, Fuck you, Metallica. Fucking hate that band. I don't hate them. Just boring. I like Megadeth more. Um, Actually, I didn't get into metal until the Judgment Day soundtrack with Public Enemy and Biohazard. That is when, and then Anthrax and PE. So that's when I started to get into like, okay, and Onyx. I loved Onyx because it had like a little bit of that in the thrash. So I was into the thrash, and that's when I kind of like got into a little bit because like like Iron Maiden and stuff, that was a little bit too early for me. I appreciated it, but like I do like me some Biohazard and some Megadeth, and I do like me some Anthrax. And not the same category, but another one of my favorite bands is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I have every album up to, by the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers worked with on my favorite album by them is Freaky Styley. Freaky Styley was produced by George Clinton. That's their second album. Catholic Schoolgirl's Rule is one of my favorite songs. That was my song when I was in high school, 10 years after that album came out. I still have it on cassette, but like Red Hot Chili Peppers was not thrash. It's not thrash or anything, but it was something that was influential at the time when, especially in like the I remember them from the late 80s with Mother's Milk. Um, but I am a Beastie Boys fan as well. Um, Paul's Boutique is the shit. I still have that on CD. Actually, no, I have Check Your Head on CD. That was my first Beastie Boys CD that I bought because I think it was like 9 or 10 when that came out because that's early 90s. Because Paul's Boutique is 1989, so I was too young for that. And then, let's see. Yeah, my thing is like I've always been to all types of music. I'm like, I love Devo. Devo is one of my favorite bands. Uh, there's this. Do you guys know about this band called Death? Hold on. This is a black punk rock band from 1973. There's a documentary that came out about it about like 6 years ago. This black punk rock band called Death. They're out of Detroit. They're one of the first punk rock bands, and no label wanted them. And so saw this documentary about 4 or 5 years ago. Man, these brothers rock. Like they are. This is one of my favorite finds. Love this fucking album. This is actually one of my favorite punk albums. It is such. I'm like, I knew there were people like me that this way. Oh, the freaking out and politicians in my eyes. These brother, there's a documentary on them, so you guys should actually really, really watch it. Yeah, black punk rock. Yeah, that's. Oh no, Voice in the Underground. Beat this. This is Boys in the Ground. Beat this. This is old school, man. This is out of London. Oh, Big Cat. They're out of Detroit. Death. No label would sign them. Motown, no label would sign them. And they were Clive Davis was going to sign them, but they had to change their name and they refused. So, and Freaking Out is one of my favorite songs in there. So you guys need to check this out. No, I mean, I love music. I love all types of music. I love country music. I love opera. I love, but my thing is like, I like rock and roll. I like punk rock, but I always have to remind our people that that's our music. Country music, that's our music. Don't let them have it. Keep listening to it. I used to get teased all the time where like, why are you listening to that white music? I'm like, it's not white music, it's ours. Like, I remember when I moved to St. Louis, I was, because I was into a lot of different things and stuff. And, you know, I like Charlie Daniels, but he's a racist piece of shit. But the devil come down to Georgia. That's a good song. I ain't gonna lie about that. I'm more of a Johnny Cash kind of girl. And by the way, Johnny Cash used to work with civil rights groups. Look them up. But I'm not here to sit here and gloat about like what this white man's done for us. But I used to get made fun of because I like certain types of music where, um, why you like that white shit? I'm like, what white shit? You mean our music that they're playing? Mm. Didn't you just buy like I was gonna say MC Hammer. They weren't in it. Didn't you just buy an Eminem CD? Mm. Mm. Like what? So I can't like Blur or like well, I didn't like mainstream stuff when like that. I was an asshole when I was a music Nazi. Because I graduated high school in the 2000s, so like shit like Corn and Limp Biscuit. And I love Rage Against the Machine though. I've never liked Eminem. I've never trusted him. I don't know why you black people buy that shit. I've never trusted that motherfucker. There, I said it. Don't have one CD from that piece of shit. I will buy the Beastie Boys over that. You can tell. You can tell that he's full of shit. I remember in high school when like Slim Shady came out, I'm like, this is not a gimmick. I know what this is. He's trying to get y'all. I love Queens of the Stone Age. Damn, Michael. All right. Okay. I see you. I see you. Queens of the Stone Age was my shit for a while. But the point I'm trying to make is this is our music. And so the fact of the matter is just like what's sad is we don't have any control in any of it anymore. And especially when it comes to hip hop, which hurts. And that's why I don't trust a lot of hip hop. And it scares me because with the upcomings of female stripper hip hop, stripper hip hop. Okay, let's go. As someone that grew up in the 90s, I grew up in the era of the Little Kim. I'll be undressed in a bra or a see-through. Why you count your juice? Think I'ma cheat you. The only one thing I want to do is freak you. Okay, got it. Favorite song of all, one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time is Crush on You. For reals. Lyrics, perfect. And then you got Ladies Night and and then Foxy Brown and Eve. Let me blow, it was versatile. And then I grew up in the era of like Salt and Pepper, like shoot. Let me break it down to the first. Wait, let me break it down to the subject. Peps on set. Make you get hot, make you work up a sweat. When stick to my loop, my darling. Not falling in love, but I'm falling for you. When I get chipped. Yo, Cindy, I want to like taste you. Well, get chips, because it's time to have pep. Get marked on your set. Go, let me shoot to the next man in the three-piece suit. Yeah, okay. I'm done. And then like roughneck. You gotta get a roughneck. You gotta get a roughneck. I need it more. Can I gotta get a roughneck? And then who you calling a bitch? UNITY. UNITY. That's unity. You know. So you're going from that. And I just went totally like from 1992 to like 1997. And then I'm trying to think what female rapper that I really liked. Oh wow, there was a blank. Woo! How many licks was that's Lil Kim? Oh, do 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 do. Mm, that's Eve. Let me blow your mind. That's 2002. And then there was Bring Me Ma with in 2004. And then there was a blank. And now we're at stripper hop. There's so many great artists out there like No Name and Rhapsody that are. I do like Doja Cat. I do like Doja Cat, and I like Meg The Stallion. But it's just so exhausting when you keep talking. Doja Cat isn't talking about the same thing. And I know how you people feel about Doja Cat. Mulatto, I don't. I've, I don't. I'm her name. I have an issue with, and I've seen her. She's more like a social media. I do like Young Ma. Thank you, thank you. I knew there was yeah, Young Ma. Uh, who else? The thing is, like, I don't like the fact that like Young Ma is getting slept on because it's all about stripper rap. Is born. I said MC Light. Did you not hear me? I need it in the morning, sir. I gotta have a roughneck. I need a roughneck. I need a butler attitude. Yeah, I did roughneck. Oh, by the way, I still have that on cassette. I was too young to hear that song. No, what? You gotta get a roughneck. I need it in the morning, so I gotta get a roughneck. And that was an anti thug song, which I love. Because I was like, I don't know what this means, but TLC, does that count? Kind of does. Antoinette, that is before I was 5 in '87, so Roxanne Shante and Old Town 357, I know, and JJ Fad, Supersonic, 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 Big Cat, Big Cat. I don't even want to talk about her. I stood in line to go get Age Ain't Nothing But a Number back in 1994 when I was 12 years old. So, yes, I don't need to be bold, but gotta let you know Aaliyah's got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Age ain't nothing but a number, getting down ain't nothing but a thing. Ew. Whoops. Oh, okay. Thank you, Michael. I gotta check that out. Yo, okay. Yo, my dude might know who that is. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. No, I thank you, Michael. Newcraft. I don't mean to be bold, but I gotta let you know. Sharif's got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Ain't you the number? Getting down ain't nothing but a thing. That's my whole growing up there. I'm sending you a 4-page letter. Come on. And I'll seal it with a kiss. I don't even know how to sing. Love you, babe. Love you, babe. Yeah. Aaliyah's. And if. Big cat. Thank you. I knew I was missing someone. I knew I was missing someone. Thank you, Big Cat. The first time I saw Missy Elliott, me, I'm super fly, super duper fly. I can't stand the rain. It's my window. I was like it. I think I was like a freshman in high school. Beep beep. Who's got the keys to the Jeep? Vroom. I'm driving to the beach. Top down, low sounds. Who would be? The B, me, Timothy. Looks like it's gonna rain. What a shame. Pick. Yeah. Um, she was very influential. Damn. How could I forget? Because I did mention Ladies' Night because Bang this and Angie Martinez. Yeah, that's on the Nothing to Lose soundtrack. That's 1997. Yeah, that's freshman year for high school for me. Heather B. She sounds familiar. Why am I blanking? I don't mean to be bold. No, I'm kidding. But I gotta let you know. Aaliyah's got a thing for you. Okay, players out there. I got something for you. One of my favorite 90s R&B groups of all time. Of all time. Jodeci's in the top 5. Yes. My number one. R&B, and I'm going to say R&B male groups, excuse me. Let me say male. Because we had a lot of Brothers I could see, like, I hate, by the way, I hate Boys to Men. Only first album. Motown Philly back again. That's the only album I like. Everything after, like, I hate, loathe Boys to Men. I hate. Like, let's love way to the water. I fucking wanted to punch someone in the face. I hate that shit. Mint Condition is my number one favorite male group. Jodeci would be number two, but Mint Condition's my number one. Underestimated, they were all musicians. They all wrote their songs. Love Mint Condition. I hate On Bended Knee. I fucking hate that song. I would call it On Down on Bended Nuts. But Mint Condition, I still, oh my God, Mint Condition is still one of my favorites. When I'm with you, I fall deeper in love. Sway, this feeling is the one thing I want. Screams for joy. Away from the day. I can't sing. 'Cause we can sway. You see me swing it? Put your love my way. And then Pretty Brown Eye. How to Get My Panties Dropped is played, the second album by Mint Condition. It's over. It's over. I love Jodeci, I do, but Mint Condition can never. So Fine. Come on, man. Those brothers were real musicians. They played bass, they played drums, they played guitar, horns. Like, that was like the last era of real musicians. Real. Stokey and all those cats. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Like Jodeci and like H Town, those were studio artists. Mint Condition, I saw them live probably was 15, 16 back in the 90s, in the late 90s. And it was a long show. They were playing like the bass and everything. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna I'm glad I left there a virgin. But Mint Condition is very underrated. Very underrated. Like, oh, love that band. I really do. They're in my top five of favorite bands of all time. They don't get enough props. Yeah. They're like the Frankie Beverly and Maze if you put like a little bit of Silky, Silky Soul Singer, and then throw some Luther, but not that woo, woo. Actually, no, that's false. No, so it'd be the same thing. Before I let go, oh, I have a bunch of Maze here too. And by the way, Luther Vandross is not one of my favorite. He's overrated. Mm, People are not like me. Luther Vandross bores me. Oh, I think I better let it go. Let it go, man. Looks like another love decay. Oh, of course, Teddy. Whoa, oh, oh. That's before my time. That's probably how it was made. My one of my best friends, we were talking about this yesterday. She just saw the Teddy Pendergrass documentary. We were talking about the accident because she thought that he was always in a wheelchair until she saw the documentary of Teddy Pendergrass. And I was just catching up on her about like, no, Teddy had this and that and that and that. His life was complicated as F. And so what? He ended up with the transgender and he, joy. He had some joy in his life, I guess. But I love me some Marvin Gaye. I love me some Marvin Gaye. Um, I was saying, I just finished Marvin Gaye's biography. I had to take a moment to dice, like, kind of, oh shit, wow. I'm ordering Rick James's biography, Glow. So that's going to be fun because I'm going to need something to read when I'm dealing with stuff back home. But yeah, Teddy Pendergrass is probably how I'm here on Earth. Marvin Gaye, favorite Marvin Gaye songs. Number one, Heavy Love Affair. Number two, Come Live With Me, Angel. Oh, that's on. Uh, and then after that would be Distant Lover. Oof, the Marvin Gaye stuff, that man was a very, very, very sexy man. But Heavy Love Affair is such a great. That's on After Our Lifetime. That came out in 1981. Wasn't a big hit, but it's still a jam. It's a good stepper song. That's how I learned it. Um, Come Live With Me, Angel is on I Want You. And I also like I Want You a lot too. Distant Lover is on Let's Get It On. International Lover is one of my favorite songs. Thank you, Michael. Actually, Michael, since we're talking parents, okay, let's go. What comes on before International Lover on the album? Oh, wait. Because the whole 1999 album is one of my favorite albums. Um, I really love, that's one album I can always play. All the critics love you in New York. Um, but Something in the Water Does Not Compute is actually one of my other favorite songs on that album. But International Lover is a great. Everyone says, Do Me Baby. I skip Do Me Baby. International Lover. I fucking hate Celine Dion. She has a great voice, but fuck her. I don't, she bores me. When I taught you like this, and I taught you like that, she has a good voice, but it's all coming back to me. Bores me. Of course, I like Jill Scott. Of course. Of course. Love Jill Scott. Love. Love. I want to be sure. And by the way, I love Cher. Oh, do you want to live love at the line? I can feel from being the sun. Gypsies, trapped and thieves. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'll take back all the ones that hurt you and you stay. If I could turn back time. I love me some Cher. But no, fuck Celine Dion. I fucking hate that bitch. She's a great singer. She's good. She's boring as fuck to me. If I hold you like this, it's all coming back to me. Oh, and then when that Titanic song, yeah, my heart. Fucking hate that song. I hate that movie and I hate that fucking song. Bitch has a nice voice, but mm-mm. I will take Streisand. I like me some Barbara Streisand. I like Barbara. I'll take Barbara, but no Celine. And plus, ew, she's boring. She is boring. Now, if we're gonna talk white woman music, I'm a Madonna fan. I love me some Madonna. I actually love me some Madonna. I like I like me some Madonna. And Barbara Streisand has a voice, okay? Don't talk about Barbara, all right? I have Yentl somewhere over here. Don't get me compliant. I'll get you. No, I do. I like me some Barbara Streisand and Madonna. Not the same genre. But if we're going to talk about some white girl music, well, actually, everyone likes Madonna. Yeah, I know white girl singers. Barbara has a good voice. That's the only one I can think of that has that. Oh, and Dusty Springfield. Dusty Springfield. I like her. She's soulful though. She don't count. She got soul. She's what the modern Adele is. Tina Marie is not in this conversation. Okay? We're talking basic white girl stuff. White girls don't know who Tina Marie is. I go to the Church of Tina Marie. Square biz. Okay? I love. I told you, she's in my top, she's number 3 in my top favorite female artists. Oof. I saw Tina Marie and New Edition together in Chicago. This is like in 2010. Yeah. Oh, God, she's. Oh, I have every Tina Marie album. I have. She's not in that. Mm-mm. She's on that side. Um, but oh, and how could I forget? I love Tina Turner too. Yeah. Out of the Limb. Yeah. See, baby, 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 it's a mystery. Ooh, you got me spinning around. What have you done to me? Spinning animation almost inside you. I told you. I feel so insecure and that I've never felt so sure. What am I going? I can't sing. Do, 'cause I'm out on a limb. I'm giving in. Oh, okay. I'll stop. I have all her records here too. Yeah. That movie will be great. Hopefully one day. Nut Bush, another turkey sister. I love me, Tina. That add that to an artist that I've not seen yet, and hopefully she'll tour before before it's too late. But she is. Oof, I love me some Tina Turner. I love me some Tina Turner. The thing is, like, music. You know, what sucks is there was an era that I remember growing up in, where people would be like, "Well, I don't. Why you like that white music, or why you like that weird shit?" Or I'm like, because that's our music. What are you talking about? Like white music? I don't know what white music is. You mean rock and roll? You mean what Chuck Berry and Fats Domino and Big Mama Thornton? That music that we created, that's ours. So I'm just continuing the rock and roll of our music, though it looks like someone that lighter than us and whiter than us, that's still our music. So, it's always been funny, like when I grew up, when people would say, like, why you like that white music? I'm like, and it was always those people that said, like, why you like that white music? I'm like, why you have an Eminem CD? Fucking sell out. Judge me. She was Navajo Cherokee. You can tell by the photos. There's photos of that, of her mom and stuff. I call it no bush. Oh, no bush. They call it no bush city limits. No bush city limits. Who, who are we leaving out? Um, I think we might be leaving out Dionne Warwick. She's cool. Um, hmm. We mentioned Sheila E. Pulled the album out. Which albums we heard? The Church House, Gin House. Oh, I love this album. This is Talking Heads. It's like tires. Oh, white woman music. I forgot. I love Kate Bush. I love Kate Bush. If you guys are not familiar with Kate Bush, Maxwell remade her song "A Woman's Work." That is Kate Bush, and she's also the one that did the song "Running Up That Hill." Oh, she's one of my favorite. I love me some Kate Bush. And Lisa Stansfield. Okay, this album is very, very dear to me. So when this album came out, I think this is 1990. Yeah, Rista, 1990. So this has, well, you guys know who this is. So the first talent show I ever did was all around the world, and I think I was like, let's see, so I was probably 7, 8. So all I did was the Running Man for the whole song. Been around the world and all I did was the Running Man. That's it. That was the first talent show I ever did, and Throw her in the. Nah, I can't do that with Lisa Stance though. Oh yeah, this is Dionne Warwick. Yeah, I like Dionne Warwick. This is a good album. Oh, so Marvin Gaye. Of course, I have George Benson. Are you kidding me? I have all of his stuff. Even when he used to play with Herbie Hancock and his jazz stuff, and some of the Crusaders stuff with George Benson. Yeah, I'm a big George Benson fan. And then there's, of course, Flashdance. I still have this from my childhood. Love this album. Okay. All right, so you're seeing some of my stuff. All right, cool. Oh, SOS Band. But watch, it's not this album. I always get disappointed. Oh no, it is. Fuck. I put it together finally. You're a weekend girl. Nice. Good. I have older siblings and cousins better know this music. Listen, a lot of these albums I took from my cousins and older relatives. I'm the youngest out of all of them. So if they weren't going to appreciate it, I was going to take it. Like I took all my cousin's Prince albums. My aunt, I have all her jazz. Some of my grandparents, I have a lot of their jazz stuff. My uncles, I have some of their Beatles stuff and 45s. I was talking to my relatives tonight about like all the albums that I have, and I'm like, I have collector's items of stuff. So, I mean, my vinyl is oh. We were talking about Prince. Do you see how fallen apart this is? This was not mine. This was something I took. And this album is a double album with the eyes. So, yeah. Anyway. Well, that's okay, Michael. Shit happens. But anywho, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad. Hold on one second. You're my weekend girl. I'm gonna probably get off with you guys because I really didn't realize that I found this album, so it's gonna remind me of my childhood, and I'm going back home to bury a parent, and so this is going to remind me and put me in a safe place. So thank you for hanging out with me for 2 hours and 36 minutes. So just the way you like it. Thank you for hanging out with my rant and stuff. Let's see. By the way, happy past Indigenous Day. And thank you, Michael. Thank you. I'm actually it's 12:36 here, so I'm going to play some SOS Band before I go to bed. So Make me feel good and warm. And thank you for putting up with my shenanigans. I love you guys. Thanks for. And by the way, when it comes to politics, I know how we all feel and it's different. But here's one thing I'm going to leave with: do not let them smell your fear. Do not let them smell your fear. Do not fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Always, always keep your eyes on the prize and make sure the wolves are hunting everywhere. I like that. Yeah. Au revoir, chantez au revoir. Goodbye, so long, farewell, too soon.